Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us today on the Tuesday edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Femi Ojo is my name, and we are back here to do what we know how to do best. And Tope is here. Good morning, Femi Tope.
Good morning, Femi. How was the night?
Well, very well. We are here. We thank God.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah.
We have steady supply of electricity.
Emphasis on the it was very good.
It was.
You have so much explanation.
It was eventful.
Eventful.
Yes.
Glory to God. And we are talking about power.
Yes.
All power belongs to God.
All power belongs to God. Even this one we're talking about.
Everything called power belongs to God.
Good morning, good people of Nigeria. Good morning, offshore. It is beyond the Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. I am Timitope Ajijola Oluola. Welcoming you to today's episode. Yeah,
it's going to be a very interesting one because so many things, is there to talk about in Nigeria. Every day as the day breaks, there is always something to talk about. And then talking about the state of the nation. There is no conversation we can have at this time that would not have something to do with security, actually. And we'll look into that in the course of the program, especially when you look at some sectors of, of the society and the implication of this insecurity on those sectors. Talk about agriculture for example, right? There are many places that farmers cannot ordinarily, naturally, on their own will, just go to their farm to go and do their business. No, they have to take permission from non-state actors, either by taxes or by giving them, cattle or whatever. And then when they do that, when it's time to harvest, you still do the same thing. Can we go? Will you be okay with that? Okay, what should we do? Because if they don't do that, is it that they are kidnapped? Is it that they are killed? Is it that they are slaughtered? And, that is the state of our nation. I'm talking about insecurity as well. The social media was agog for like 2 days, and especially yesterday, about the ambush, between these criminals, ISWAP versus Boko Haram. And they are being at each other's neck. And Nigerians will say, be my guest.
But talking about the situation in that area that you talked about, emphasis on Sokoto and Zamfara now, it just goes to show the lack of state presence in those areas.
Right.
I mean, authority has been taken away from the sovereign power of the nation now to, these non-state actors like you called them. So, right, it shows that the international outcry that we had and that we've been talking about for some time now, at least for the past 2 weeks, it goes to show that it is the right time. It came at the right time. It is a situation of, that calls for a state of emergency, really, talking about that. I mean, people have been saying that if a state of emergency could have been declared in a place like Rivers, what stopped state of emergency being declared in Borno and Sokoto in Zamfara, in all of those places? So it brings all of those questions, and it just goes to show that, yes, we have things that should be top priority, but it just seems that we're not on the same page with, the authority of the land. We'll be talking about all of these, in the course of time, over the week, so that, we will be doing our own part. And we hope that the government will do their part as well.
Its own part, exactly. We'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we dive straight right into the front page of, the dailies that we have. Interesting headlines, actually. You will be happy, for joining us today. Stay with us. All right, let's start from the front page of The Punch. The Punch newspaper, Trump threats. Interesting coinage there. Trump threats troops pound terror bases in key states. Troops pound terror bases in key states. 86 rescued in air-ground assault in Borno, Kwara, Katsina. Boko Haram ISWAP clash leaves 50 dead. All right, this pounding of the, terror bases in some states, we hope it will be sustained. Because the issue sometimes is when these things being done as a one-off, you just go on some of these things, and then you've made some successes, and then you just stay put. Because those guys will always regroup. They move from this state to other states, and then it might take them 6 months. They come back again, and they attack the people. We hope it will be sustained. It will not just be what, when we were younger, we call IGG, initial gra-gra. So it's not just about that. Because the enemies we are dealing with, it's an ideological war, actually. They don't rest. They don't, even if it takes 1 year, they will always come back to wreak these havoc.
And we cannot rule out the fact that the fact that there is talk, there are statements coming around insecurity and especially killings, genocidal killings, or whatever killings that we could call it. It is showing that either sincerely, genuinely or not, attention is being put in that area these days. Sometimes, many people do not believe in all of this because there is no transparency. We need to really dwell on that particular area. Transparency and the fact that, we would always have reports where you're having, they said they did this, because people cannot really trust the word, of this, of this particular
because naturally, when you talk about these issues, they deflect or they shrug it off as you are an enemy of the government. Now that the pressure is coming from the international, and not just it's not just Sudan and Mali and all of it. It's coming from Donald Trump. Everybody is campaigning for whatever they have to say right now. So I think this should be sustained. Whatever progress we are making now, let it be sustained over time. Let this pounding continue. Let them know.
Yes, that there is no reprieve. Yes, from
no
this.
Retreat, no surrender.
Yes.
Exactly. That's I remember that old film, Chuck Norris film. All right. Below that, Tinubu pushes Siemens deal for fresh 4,000 megawatt power. Right. And you see the man there, Mr. Tinubu, that's President Tinubu, is a vice, the Minister of Power, that of Economy, and many other persons in that particular picture. Below that, PDP convention, Wike block petitions NJC. Motorists stranded as Oyo residents protest road extension. Motorists stranded as Oyo residents protest road extension. Right, page 5 of the Nigerian, the Punch has that. Besides that, gaming bill, Lagos sues National Assembly for contempt. Gaming bill, Lagos sues National Assembly for contempt. And moving on, $14 million probe. EFCC puts Silva on FBI Interpol watch list. The man was declared wanted, officially wanted, by the Nigerian state through the EFCC yesterday. Interesting. Former governor, for that matter. Former minister, for that matter. APC member, for that matter. But then he has been in the eye of the storm of late. He has been fingered, at least in the public space, has been one of those persons who attempted coup on the Nigerian state. Although the Nigerian government denied coup, it never happened. But the man will end his outside of the country. Some said he fled to France through Senegal. And, his spokesperson has said, yes, he's not around. His house was raided, but,
and he wasn't there.
But it wasn't part of any coup. Then we wait to see Timi Prasuva, how the mighty,
may fall.
Yeah, in this case, because that was when the number one in Bayelsa at some point. And then he was a minister under Buhari, actually. I think Minister of State for Petroleum or something at that time. And now, and some have said, in Nigeria, you can't, especially in the political space, you can't but talk about the political undertone to this, because some said Doye Dire, he has moved to the APC now, and because Silva was there before as the number one APC in Bayelsa. Now that the man has moved over, some persons have said, Doye Diri needs to take over as the party leader. So Silva has to be dealt with, but then it's politics, actually.
Yeah.
Over 100,000 policemen assigned to VIPs. Over 100,000 policemen assigned to VIPs. I'm sure just like myself, I'm tired of these rhetorics. Doesn't matter to us. The thing is, okay, they are attached to VIP, so what? We've seen these IG, the previous IG, the one before that, the one before the other one, talk about, oh, we are withdrawing our policemen from VIPs. VIPs go and handle your business. We know it's a lie. We can say on this program, it's a lie. Celebrities go about sometimes with 2 or 3.
Yes.
Armed ones, not just the regular guys in black uniform. Armed ones. Now, imagine you have like 5 celebrities, the grade A artists, musicians in Nigeria. You know, in that gathering, you will be having like armed, the ones who come mopos, mobile policemen. For the 20 of them, averagely, you have 20 mopos in that particular place. That means for whatever formation they are drawn from, these are personnel that have been withdrawn from public service, attached to private guys. Sometimes some of them even move around with Nigerian army guys. So if we are being told like 100,000 policemen have been attached to VIP, some of them carry bags, some of them carry umbrella, some of them run school errands for Oga.
I mean, these are some of the things that we really need to, pound on. If it's coming out again at this time, we need to see the legal angle to this. Is it constitutional? Should they be doing that? I mean, even if they're attached for security purposes, carrying bags, umbrellas, all of those errands
we know
is
that
part of, their designation.
Definitely,
how do we move?
Constitutionally speaking, we know they can't be designed to carry bags and umbrella.
Those are the issues we need to really know. Let's enlighten one another. Let's know. Let the people know that they need to petition who they need to petition so that all of these things would stop. I mean, if we're talking about the election and we're saying in 4 words,
no policeman.
There was just one policeman, and he was even sitting there because he would be overwhelmed.
What can the
what does he want to do? What would he do?
When we were having that conversation, I was thinking to myself, so what will he do?
What would he do? He had to just sit. And so these are the issues. If 100,000.
The local man will be tired in that particular place.
What's the size of the elite?
Police told us 60,000 security operatives were deployed for that election. And you were saying
Mr. Bukola, was saying, yes.
There was none. Actually,
just one.
What can the man do? Because
and he was saying they could not verify on ground
if actually they were there.
About 60,000 were there.
I'm sure out of the ones, many of them, in Nigeria, we've learned on election duties, there are people who even lobby to be deployed for election duties because, it's not because of the Lord's work. So, most of these guys, most certainly will be deployed in the cities. And in the cities, there might still be lobbying of the juicy places, the places that the politicians will come to vote. And we go on election duties, we know these things. So for the interlands, for the motherland, you're your own. That's just, and that's why most of the election, fraud sometimes come from those villages. Because from that place, most of them, there is little or no presence. Now, the local man you are talking about, the policeman that will cover 4 polling units, what can he do? When the people will call Eruku, when they arrive, what can he do? It's just as human as any other. Even if he has a gun, will you start shooting? That's just it's as easy as that. All right, 9 banks pocket 14.7 trillion naira interest income. Good luck to them. And presidency eyes NNPC shake up as oil output falters. That will be all from the Punch.
All right, now Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The banner headline says Boko Haram ISWAP clash at Borno border. Over 150 killed, and the riders NAF kills ISWAP terrorists, bandits and precision airstrikes across northern states. Police partner DSS orders to intensify patrol operations around churches and Abuja. Police partner DSS others to intensify patrol operations around churches in Abuja. That's on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune. Now over to the top strip. Raps invite EFCC ICPC to probe $4.6 billion global fund USAID grants. And just beside that, EFCC declares Timmy Press Silva wanted. Right there. Right now to the side columns there. We place high premium on stable power, says Tinubu. Yes, just as we are enjoying it, you know, in my area. Femi cannot say so much about that himself. National Hajj Commission announces cuts in 2026 Hajj fares. That's on page 27. National Hajj Commission announces cuts in 2026 Hajj fares. Right on health, coffee may protect against irregular heartbeats by 39%. Says study coffee may protect against irregular heartbeats by 39%. Well, as a host of Brain Clinic, I'm beginning to just imagine how this is not conflicting with what some of us know. I mean, you're advised against taking coffee if you have any heart-related condition.
Well, because of the caffeine.
And now a study is saying that it protects against irregular heartbeats.
Well, one might just have to go through the details.
Yes, to know, yes. All right, now beside that, historical mistrust, land grabbing, illegal mining, banditry, trigger violence. That's according to presidency. Historical mistrusts, land grabbing, illegal mining, banditry, trigger violence. At the rider, as Tinubu receives zonal briefs on security infrastructure. Opel revokes Mowaz CFO, asks site be returned to Benin Central Hospital. Page 29 has that. And then the last right here, wildlife tracking, court sends 2 to prison. Orders for feature of Gorilla. That's on page 17. And some of those, advertorials that we have on WSTV, where we have all those wildlife stuff. Yeah. I'm saying that, yes, it's not just about the token. Action was taken right here. All right. Nigerian Tribune has those headlines this morning.
All right. The Daily Trust is next. The Daily Trust newspaper. Bandits attack 5 vehicles. Abduct passengers in Kogi. Here we go. And of course, you can see the picture there, right, of the abandoned vehicles.
5 vehicles.
5 vehicles abduct passengers in Kogi. Vehicles attacked by suspected bandits along a Yerekaba highway in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State. All right. And that's a traumatic, phase. That has just begun for some persons. Because nobody, I usually say, you don't want to be in that space of having the knowledge of your person, kidnapped. You can't process it. And actually, you can't imagine it, except you've been, involved before. And you can see the vehicles here that have been attacked. Here
what comes to mind is, if this bus that we're seeing now, we're talking about 5 vehicles.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine the number of the bandits who were out there to have held 5 vehicles to ransom.
Well, it's a man with a weapon is a powerful man.
Yeah,
actually.
right.
So even if it's only 10 of them, they could do a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
10 is a lot.
And, we have been told by analysts that they move in droves. They go on bikes, and sometimes the bike will carry like three persons, armed people. So what can those persons do except you have, a magical disappearing powers? All right. And federal government pushes for Ekere Madu's transfer to Nigeria. There are conversations around that. We even learned there is a federal government emissary to, have diplomatic talks if actually demand will be returned to Nigeria. And, when he's returned to Nigeria, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
So, on social media, when there is a controversial post, at the comment section, you see some will tell you that comment that you are looking for.
You're getting here.
Put it there yourself. And so, if somebody says, so if it's brought here, what will happen? Your guess is as good as mine. All right. PDP convention, Damagum-led NWC, Moss Wicket's expulsion. Really, these were jolly good fellows before, just a few days ago. And NARCON reduces Hajj fare to 7.6 million naira. 7.6 million naira to travel
reduction
for
rate.
pilgrimage. I think there was a reduction of 792,000 naira. Okay, because it was in the excess of 8 million before, now 7.6 million. So if you are considering traveling,
that's about $1 million naira in generosity.
Well, less than 1 million, less than 800,000 naira reduction. So that's still something. If you are still, planning to go for Hajj pilgrimage, you have your work cut out for you. And many killed as Boko Haram ISWAP clash in Lake Chad region, and Obasanjo, under my word, US wouldn't do anything in Africa without our knowledge. And some will want to agree with him, actually, because of he's not saying he has not said here that America cannot have his way. He's only saying they will not do anything in Africa without his knowledge, and he speaks to how they hold you at that time. Actually,
even levels, till now,
there are levels to these things.
Yes, there are. It's about diplomacy.
Yeah.
Or your diplomatic
and
relations.
How you are holding your
exactly. Yes.
That's it. Under my word, US wouldn't do anything in Africa.
I mean, Obasanjo was everywhere in Africa during his time. Even after, he helped mediate several peace talks.
Countries, it
was everywhere.
And that's why the man can always talk to. I've seen many of his pictures in which, he was in charge when many of these world powers visited. Actually, when George Bush visited, the man was in charge there. And all of those things. Abuja Hospital mortuary drowns in stench, decay. Abuja Hospital mortuary drowns in stench and decay. What could have happened? I think necessary authorities should move in quickly to avoid disaster, especially in that area.
Right.
Now, silver for the dead body. Okay, their history should be. their memory should be protected. But the truth of the matter is they can't feel anything. So whatever is happening now is
for the living.
And so, thank you. We must take care of that before the living return to the dead as well. And silver, EFCC puts FBI, NCA, Interpol on alert. So much for the man. That'll be all from the Daily Trust.
All right, the Nation newspaper quickly. We have this. The banner headline: airstrikes kill terrorists in Borno, pound hideouts in Katsina, Kwara, and the rider. Troops launch blistering attacks. So 100 ISWAP fighters killed in clash with Boko Haram. All right, many will say, let the hostiles stick out themselves. Right there. And just below the nameplate, Opalo revokes Museum's CFO, takes EU envoys to Monarch. That's on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. To the top strip, silver wanted by EFCC over $14.8 million fraud. And the ex-minister says it's witch hunt. Okay, that's on page 4. Religion, not Nigeria's crisis, says Shoyinka. And that's on page 3. We are dealing with extremists. Right. This says Nakan slashes 2026 Hajj fare to 7.6 million naira. Lottery. Lagos sues National Assembly for defying Supreme Court. That particular one there on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And right here, so the bottom region of the paper, PDP faction asks NJC to sanction Ibadan judge. Court to hear case on convention tomorrow. Right there as well. And the federal government, all right, this says here, the bottom strip says UNN VC objects to ex-minister Naji's certificate forgery suit. That's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. It's been a long time talking about this minister's forgery suit right there. And then UNN and the VC now, they're objecting to the suit. Maybe they're even objecting to the fact that he forged his certificate in the first place. Several interesting conversations, several headlines right there. But these that I just read out are on the Nation newspaper this morning.
Of course, the Vanguard is next. Vanguard newspaper, insecurity. Now, that's the Nigerian Air Force strikes, kill terrorists, bandits in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, and others. Right, that sounds like a good news, actually. So let's keep the tempo up. Now, Air Force strikes, kill terrorists, bandits in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, and others. You know, just like we said yesterday, so that people can believe these things more. In as much it's, you know, it's about airstrikes, right? And we are talking about high-grade military equipment.
Yeah. Okay.
So some of these things are recorded, actually, you know, because we see it in movies. It's not like somebody using hands, you know, to be throwing these IEDs. They are precision equipment that are targeted towards a particular place. So whatever gains they have made, this is the time for the Air Force to put it up. Actually, the moment you are done, you have debriefed, everything is fine. As you are coming with this story, let the people see that this is what we have done. So that they can see that, oh, these guys are working. And, you know, some of the things that have happened, you know, they are verifiable. Everything should not be pocketed under national security every time. We're not talking about the kind of things that you are going for. No, the ones that you are done with. You know, if Nigerians will see this happen in this local government, and they call their people there and they say, yes, it has happened. Yes, it has happened. It will help the public trust and people can support the government more. You just don't keep telling us you have neutralized it people.
No pictures.
No video.
No, exactly.
So is your word against
and yes, terrorists would strike. And you get pictures.
You can
they make videos, they make pictures.
They make videos. Even when they are doing some of these dastardly acts, they put up videos. You can, when they are slaughtering, you see. When they've killed, they will see. When they are attacking themselves, you will see. But when Nigerian Army, Air Force, some of the time, sometimes they do. But some of the, like this one, where's the picture? Where's the video? People will say, even when you have walked. And I think there is a reason why information is very powerful. Let the people see. Let it be verifiable. Give the coordinates when you are done, not when you are doing it. Because when you are doing it, you can't compromise that particular project and assignment. All right. And why we declare to me Presuva wanted the FCC, its coordinated political onslaught aid as a youth's kick. Okay, so much for those kicks there. And Trump threatens BBC with $1 billion lawsuit over January 6th speech edit. All right, when I saw it yesterday, I said, oh, in Nigeria, we'll say BBC don't buy market. Okay, if it was intentional or it was just an overzealous editor or it was just editing gone wrong or it was just an oversight. Do that to somebody like Mr. Trump, okay, there is trouble. All right, because, by the way, either is...
I mean, whether it's a Trump
that's what I want to say. Either it's Trump or not, nobody should be messed with. Yeah. Actually, especially in these...
I mean, there are rules to these things.
There are.
When you have something, put up the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if it's a part, state it clearly that it's in part.
And put it that way. Exactly. Actually, don't misrepresent.
Do not. You don't edit things without indicating that it was edited. Yeah. You do not add without saying... Clearly.
Or posture it in another light.
Exactly.
Actually. And, you know, BBC should know all of those things. So who is that person that have dropped that particular ball? You know, because you are talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation here. Okay. All right. WHO, FCDO, hail and bask commitment to health development. And here, on the sports scene, you know, it's a showdown. Nigeria versus Gabon. I think it's happening tomorrow, Thursday. Not too sure now. Shocker. Surely old salaries ahead of World Cup playoffs. His old salary. Even as I don't like to say this, you are working for the NFF. You should know these things. It's sad. Nobody should be old. But anybody has to see. If I'm taking an NFF job, I know. That's the way they operate.
You'll be old.
Genetro is still being old. The former coach, what are you saying? They should know all of those things, even though it is terrible. It is bad for it to happen. And you are talking about a make or mark kind of match, actually, because it's against Gabon everywhere to be soft. Well, we wish them all the best. And for Mr. and Mrs., this is Mrs. saying, I learned that the man in the next flat was beating his wife when the neighbors intervened. What was her offense? And the Mr. responds, he said his wife served him cookies in a dirty saucer. He was about to fling the piece of ceramics at her when I held his hand. The brute nearly invented another flying saucer. Interesting. But then, you know, violence is never helping anybody here. Either is justified or not. By the way, violence can never be justified. That's just the thing. Nobody should lay his or her hands. You know, it's quite it's not that popular in Africa for people to report domestic violence against women. I mean, against men. Actually, for a man to go and say, my wife, they beat me. You see, that laugh that you are trying to hide is the same way people will laugh and say, okay, come on here. But it happens. That's it. There are people. I remember a story was
quite unpopular though.
Yeah. Well, you will not. Yeah, because the man, physiologically speaking, is stronger, definitely. But there are stronger women as well. Or there are men who doesn't see laying their hands on the woman as a thing. As a choice, and so there are some demonic women who always take advantage. We have good women, good men. Terrible men, terrible women as well. There are people that their hands, women that their hands are very fast to strike. Actually, slaps, you know. And, you know, in that kind of a situation, the day the man will retaliate with one blow, the whole of the community will know there is a wife.
We need to balance things up. And there are several men who are also quick to be verbal abusers.
Verbal abusers.
You know that with women.
Okay.
But you see some men,
okay with women.
It's their stock in trade. I'm saying that you see that in women. I mean, it's common with women, but you see men too.
It's common with women doesn't make it right, actually.
It's not. Nobody is saying it's right.
Abused.
I'm saying that as much as we're talking about violence comes in different forms.
You know, I don't like this kind of conversation.
We're trying to balance these up.
It will always
You always see it as a gender battle.
And it isn't. It's not. So, nobody should behave badly. That's
exactly.
Behave well. Now, Nigeria's private sector credit soars. PDP pro-anti. Listen to this. PDP pro-anti-convention forces fight as court adjourns case to November 12. So much for it. Just to do convention.
Is there anything we wouldn't take to courts these days?
Well,
I mean, you're aggrieved with an election process, go to court.
Well, it's part of the process.
Convention, I mean,
it's better than people attacking themselves, actually.
All the time. Because the court will always sway in a direction. You can dialogue. The
court will do things based on what your lawyers can prove.
Both parties can always have their way.
In this case.
In different ways.
In this case. This PDP case.
It ought not even get there in the first place. It's a generation of the system.
What the PDP is even trying to do is a convention. Just a convention.
That's
not even
what
the primaries.
We're saying.
And it's becoming chaotic because there are
something you're now taking to court.
Well, it is. There's the Wike camp. They call it Wike block. She's marking this block. Actually. Now the question is, where is the people's block? Non-existent, you know, because it's about power. Sheyi Makinde will never do whatever he's doing because, my people must. It's even within people, there are people. That's my focus this morning. Let's unite against extremism. Olubadan, Shoyinka, NHRC, that's the Human Rights Commission. And 2027, Rige worst coup. Dixon and Amici. Actually, and there are some persons that will say, Nigerian politicians will always condemn Rige, especially when it doesn't favor them. Actually, when they are being rigged out or when they are being out-rigged. I think that's the word. When they have been out-rigged. So much to really talk about here. All right, we'll take this quick break right now. When we return, we speak to issues, especially the issues of insecurity and these non-state actors running around, making it to look like there is government even within a government. Stay with us.